Today is August 23rd, 2020. I'm going to start with, let's go to August 3rd, 2020 at the end of Trump's press briefing.
And I think that'll be before the end of the month, and I think it'll be very impressive to a lot of people. Thank you very much.
The Postal Service says it has capacity for the election period. Mr. President, the Postal Service released a statement saying it has ample capacity for the election. That's not true what you just said, Mr. President.
Notice he's talking to the Mr. President with his last question. August 20th, 2020.
Hey Trump, I have a request. For those people that are on the fence about, are you listening to me, my video, and making references to things I've been saying in the video or not, can you have the people stop asking you questions when you leave? Because can you have the people stop asking you questions Thursday or Friday? Can you have the people stop asking you questions when you leave? Because they know that you're not going to answer, and you know the same thing, and they know that they're questions to make it seem like they're really there asking like questions off the top of their head when.
So today, 4 hours ago, Sunday, August 23rd.
Showed tremendous potential. This is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Warp Speed. Words, and Stephen, I want to thank you because the FDA really stepped up, and especially over the last few days in getting this done. The results have been incredible. And I think you'll see the results even go up very substantially. So we appreciate it. And maybe I'll ask Alex to go first and then Stephen. Thank you very much, Alex.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. President. So thank you again, Mr. President, for supporting this remarkable progress against COVID-19. And I want to thank Dr. Hahn, Dr. Marks, and the entire team at the FDA for the speed with which they've approached this, the diligence to ensure that this meets the standards at FDA. And I'll turn it over to Dr. Hahn if it's okay, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, for your leadership. It's good.
Okay, any questions?
Mr. President? Thank you, Mr. President. I want to first ask you about the COVID-19 drugs that are in phase 3. Are they going to be available to the American population you and I talked previously about this idea of right to try, right? Can we assure the American people that if it's being studied and it's in phase 3, you have that right?
You know, it's a great question. And I'm not sure a lot of people have been thinking about right to try. We're all waiting for the final answer. And maybe I could ask Stephen, but I would say that right to try is exactly if somebody is virtually terminal, in other words, they're not going to make it, and if we have these incredible therapies and drugs that are happening, Alex, I think it's a very interesting question. I congratulate you for that question because I think we're all waiting for that exact final endpoint. What about that, Stephen? We have all of these seemingly great answers that are ready to come out, but because of the process it takes, can we use some of this early under right to try, please?
So it's a really good question. And of course, it all depends on the clinical circumstances and what a doctor and a patient together decide with respect to the administration of any agent.
But lives, and we're not going to let that happen, okay? Very good, thank you.
Mr. President, in announcing this today, you said that the FDA has made the independent determination that the treatment is safe and very effective. Yet Dr. Hahn just said it was showing promising efficacy. So which of the two is correct?
Well, I think I'll let Dr. Hahn answer the question.
So under our legal authority for emergency use authorization, this is not the same as an approval in the family.
This is a very big day. Today we've been looking forward to. Thank you very much. Great question.
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to authorize this? Mr. Dr. Hahn, could you answer that question? Authorize
Can you have the people stop asking you questions?
Asking you, Donald Trump, questions when you leave the room. Like this. Asking you, Donald Trump.
Of the United States of America. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Stop asking you, Donald Trump, questions at the end of the press conference. Like this.
Doing well, and we're all set to deliver them as soon as we have them, and that's going to be very soon. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you have the people stop asking you questions
When you leave?
like this?
We're in the same position on testing. We are lapping the world on testing, and the world is coming to us. As I said, they're coming to us saying, what are you doing? How do you do it? We're helping them. So, no, I think we've done a great job. And one person, I will say this, one person is too many. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Why did Americans have to go to South Korea to get 500,000 tests?
So let's go back to today, 4 hours ago, on April 23rd, 2020. And go to the end of the news conference and pay attention to who's being asked the questions and who isn't.
If you're one of those 35 out of 100 people who these data suggest or show survive as a result of it, this is pretty significant for that person and their family.
This is a very big day. Today we've been looking forward to. Thank you very much. Great question.
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to authorize this? Dr. Hahn, could you answer that question? Dr. Hahn, to authorize this? You didn't answer the question. How did you answer the question?
That if you're one of those 35 out of 100 people who these data suggest
you're not gonna
or
answer.
show
And
survive as a result of it, this is pretty significant for that person and their family. Or show survive as a result of it, this is pretty significant for that person and their family.
This is a very big day. Today we've been looking forward to. Thank you very much. Great question.
Pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to authorize this. Dr. Hahn, could you authorize?
Pretty significant for that person and their family.
This is a very big day. Today we've been looking forward to. Thank you very much. Great question.
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to authorize this? Dr. Hahn, could you answer that question? Dr. Hahn, authorize this. You didn't answer the question. How did you answer the question?
Now, he hasn't had a news conference up until today, when I made my request August 20th.
Top of that, with your news conference, the next one, whether it's today or tomorrow, Thursday or Friday, can you have the people stop asking you questions when you leave? Because they know that you're not going to answer.
Can you have the people stop asking you questions when you leave because they know that you're not going to answer them, and you know the same thing, and they know that it's their questions to make it seem like they're really, they're asking the question off the top of their head when they're really not. Can you, Mr. Donald Trump, get them to stop asking you questions at the end of the news conference?
If you're one of those 35 out of 100 people who these data suggest or show survive as a result of it, this is pretty significant for that person and their family.
This is a very big day. Today we've been looking forward to. Thank you very much. Great question.
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, not President Trump,
authorize this, Dr. Hahn?
Dr. Hahn, we're asking you this question. We're not asking Donald Trump the question. We're asking Dr. Hahn.
Could you answer that question?
Okay, could you answer that, Dr. Hahn?
Authorize this.
You're present. She didn't say Mr. President. She said you're present.
You didn't answer the question.
You
How did you answer the question?
You didn't answer the question. None of you answered the question. None of who? There was 3 people there. Dr. Hans, Dr. Trump, Mr. Trump.
Maybe I'll ask Alex to go first and then Stephen. Thank you very much.
Alex and Stephen.
5 out of 100 people who these data suggest
So this is the last person talking.
or show survive as a result of it, this is pretty significant for that person and their family.
This is a very big day. Today
So Alex and Steve are there. Trump, it's a very big day.
we've been looking forward to.
We've been looking forward to this day. I've been looking forward to the end of this press conference to see how it was going to end. And when you started asking him, when you started to say, "Do you have any questions?" I knew that something was going to change in the end.
Thank you very much. Great question.
Was there pressure on you, Dr. Hahn, to
Well, did it not? Did it not come to pass where Mr. Trump wasn't asked the question at the end? I know. It ain't. See, here's how this works. Those from the inside can see how it works because they're the ones doing it. The ones that are still like, the ones that were promised something different other than what I'm telling you is going to happen, you can see it, but you just won't say, damn, it really did happen, because it's not exactly, it's like looking for a sign. You're not going to get a sign like that.
authorize this, Dr. Hahn?
Dr. Hahn was asked the question, not Mr. Trump.
Answer that question. Dr. Hahn, authorize this.
I really appreciate it because
We'll talk about some of the other topics like our economy, which is doing well. The stock market had another good day. I think they have a good day because they see a lot of positive things happening on this front too.
All these
Thank
press
you very much.
conferences.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. President, can you answer, Mr. President? It's all about Mr. President. So in this video, since the first time my request, the first press conference that Trump had, this is a press conference, since that request, he was not asked the question at the end. That's why the other 2 guys were in there, so they can take the question. Trump's not gonna do it exactly the way I'm asking, because that would be way too obvious. Trump, this is plenty good enough message, well received. Thank you.